speaking with guitar player Kiko Loureiro, and Kiko, where are you calling us from today? Are you in Brazil?
No, I'm here in Hollywood now.
Okay, so you're living here full time now, is that correct?
Yeah, Los Angeles, yeah.
Okay, now, first thing I want to ask you about today is I see up on your website that this week at the NAMM show, you're getting ready to announce that you're going to have a signature guitar coming out. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I signed a deal with Ibanez.
Okay.
I've been using the Ibanez like the past 6 months. So I'm using the prototype, and we developed a new guitar for me. I'm really honored to be part of the Ibanez team, and we're gonna release the official date. It's gonna be NAMM 2014. So it's really great. We're gonna do like a press conference on Friday there with Tosin Abasi as well.
Okay.
And with the guy from Periphery. So really, I'm really honored and really happy to have a signature guitar from Ibanez being released at NAMM and shipping worldwide.
And this is going to be your first time you've ever had your own signature guitar out, is that correct?
Well, I had already one from a Brazilian company, and then also with ESP years ago as well. So it's not my first signature model that is out, but it's the first one with Ibanez, and it's a brand that I always love. It's a brand that I always respect a lot, and a lot of my heroes are Ibanez endorsees, like George Benson, Steve Vai, Satriani, Pat Metheny. So from the jazz to rock, I have all my heroes there. So I'm really glad to be among them.
Oh, that's great. Let me congratulate you on that. Now, the last time I talked to you was about a year ago, last March, when you just released your latest album, Sounds of Innocent. Now, it's been a while since that album's come out, and I was curious, have you gotten to work on your next solo album yet?
Not really. What I did this year, I did a DVD that is going to be, it's already out in Japan. We're gonna put out here in U.S. February now.
Okay.
And I did a show in Brazil, São Paulo. We have a Central Park there. It's like a big park that has a very beautiful auditorium there. And then I did a show there, and I did my live DVD. So it's really nice and great shooting, and Virgil Donati on drum. I did a big concert with 3 sets. That's one of my dreams I had. So I had one set, mainly Brazilian jazz.
Okay.
Brazilian musicians, percussion, and Brazilian drummer, the great guys. And then we changed all the sets on stage. I did an acoustic, nylon, classical guitar. I played 2 songs, and then we changed the set again for the third part with Virgil Donati and also a percussion player and Felipe, my bass player, and we did all the Sounds of Innocent songs and all the songs more rock. So we had like a rock and kind of progressive metal rock set, acoustic guitar, and the Brazilian jazz set. So it was a pretty long night. Quite difficult actually for me to be like performing these different styles of music in the same night.
Yeah.
It came out really nice, the DVD. So the name of the DVD is The White Balance.
Wow, that's a great idea. And is that the first time you've done a show like that? Because typically I'd imagine...
yeah, it was the first time. Of course I did shows with the rock guys, and I did all the shows in the theaters and auditoriums with the Brazilian jazz and stuff. I did sometimes in my shows I get the acoustic guitar and play some Brazilian traditional stuff in the nylon string. Kind of like bossa nova, kind of things like this. But I have never done something like that that has the 3 styles of music in the same night. I had this idea, but then I realized it's really difficult. Not only by the fact that it had to change drums, right? Because Brazilian jazz guy doesn't play in the same set of Virgil Donati, like totally different drum set, or the bass amp, or in the Brazilian jazz we had a grand piano on stage, and then for the rock set we didn't have the piano, so it was like a festival, like changing things on stage and things like this. But the most difficult thing is like to get the mindset,
Yeah.
like like a jazz mode kind of thing, and then suddenly, 10 minutes later you're like in a metal, rock, virtuoso kind of thing, So the mindset for that was a bit challenging for me. And then sitting down, like calm, and play the acoustic guitar, that's quite a demanding instrument, for an acoustic guitar, nylon. So it's kind of hard to, putting the mindset for each time.
And let me ask you, because again, like a lot of your fans, I imagine, think of you as a guitar shredder type of player. So like, how did the audience react to the show? I mean, were they able to get into the mindset, or did you get a positive reaction when you did that show?
I had the impression, I believe, because I recorded one album, which is Brazilian jazz.
Yes.
It's called Universo Inverso, like an inverse universe that kind of shows my other side as a musician. So, like the fans and a lot of people know that I have this side of me, and always in my albums I have some acoustic pieces, right?
Yeah.
So what I did was to play that acoustic pieces that is in the rock album. So like the rock fans, they kind of know the songs, or they know that I like, they know that I do some all the styles of music. So actually after the show, a lot of people was really into the other things, because the rock part kind of, they know that I do. They know that I can do. They've seen me doing these other in other situations, or maybe YouTube videos or things like this. But the full set was like 20 minutes only acoustic guitar, and another set was like 15 minutes only Brazilian jazz. That was like surprising, and it was a beautiful stage. I think it's an auditorium. Everybody was sitting and relaxed, and you could enjoy the music. So I think it was really cool. I think nobody complained or something like that. Actually, I got a lot of compliments about doing different stuff.
Because to me, I gotta tell you, I'm very interested in seeing the DVD when it's released here in the States, because I mean, even just based on what you've told me, I think it'd be an interesting show to watch, in the fact that you're doing all these different styles of guitar music, and I think just watching, or anybody that goes to any of these shows, that the audience be very entertained, because it's not like they're seeing you do the same solo or the same type of music for a whole night. I think it'd keep it very interesting and fresh.
Yeah, because you know what? When I play this instrumental stuff, I really like to play the instrumental guitar music, but it's very dangerous. There's a fine line to be very boring,
Yeah.
So I'm very concerned about having good melodies, good song structure, like a song, like a pop song, like sometimes not much, but sometimes really the structure of the song is really clear and easy to understand. And then when you bring other styles into the table, on the table, you bring other situations, it makes life boring. That's what I imagine, Otherwise it's gonna be this like scales up and down fast, and then the brain just gets tired, the ears get tired.
Yeah, because
that's the way I hear. When I hear other people's music, I like when they bring something totally fresh during the concert to break a little bit, the virtuoso all the time,
Yeah, I mean, to me, like I told you last year when I talked to you, one thing that really impressed me about your Sounds of Innocence album, that's the first time I'd heard a guitar player in years, probably since Steve Vai. I remember the first time I heard Steve Vai, his guitar was literally talking to me, and I put on your album, and, every song, like, you're a kind of writer and guitar player who, you do what's best for each song, and it does not sound. Each song does not sound like the same solo over and over. It does not sound like you're playing the same track over and over. You've got great, very versatile player, and that's what I love about the album. It just even though it's instrumental music, it speaks to me, if you know what I mean, because every track does not sound the same on an album, and I think that's what you got for going for yourself as a player.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I try to do. Try to get the ideas, the different chops and the different skills that I have in the guitar, but putting the music in front of all that, and then just let this chops and licks and phrasing come naturally to the song. So when I start composing, I'm always thinking about the song and not what kind of incredible technique I could, put in the song. I think sometimes that's the danger when the guy has a good technique and know how to play complicated stuff. That's the danger of putting that in front of the music. So I always start with a melody. I could say more than half of my songs I always play another instrument, like the piano or an acoustic guitar, so I can really get involved with the song and not the technique, because I'm not a technical guy in the piano or the acoustic guitar. So I can be more like, okay, that's the song, When I bring the song to the electric guitar, then easily the chops and some licks and some fast runs, they come across, but the song's already there,
And let me ask you,
for itself. So that's kind of what happens, I think.
That's cool. Let me ask you, Kiko, once the DVD gets released here in the States, is there any chance that you'll be doing any of those type of shows, like when you tour here?
Yeah, that's what I want, Well, I'm playing in some places. Of course, this show that I did in São Paulo there in the DVD,
yeah,
it's quite complicated to make it happen.
Okay.
In a normal way. We have 9 musicians.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Different sets and 2 drummers, 2 bass players, a pianist, a percussionist, 2 percussionists, another guitar player as a guest. So you can't. It feels like this nowadays. It's just impossible to drive or fly with such amount of people.
Yeah.
So I could do that because I was in Brazil and I know the people are there.
Okay.
And I could organize. I just brought Virgil Donati from U.S. So there's actually one person flying. So,
I hear you.
But what I always want to do is I try to do a rock show that I bring some of this Brazilian jazz somehow into the show and the acoustic part, at least to break a little bit the happy part all the time and to show other music spectrum to the listener.
Yeah,
this is possible to do, and it's not. When you do a long show, this is very, very important.
I understand, and let me ask you. I was reading in your bio on your website that you actually started out on the acoustic guitar rather than like a lot of players just starting out on the electric. Do you think that's part of the reason that you're such a versatile player? That you're able to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because the Brazilian tradition is pretty much into the nylon string, right? The classical guitar, like Spanish kind of. So we start. I think here in the U.S., for instance, is more folk. Steel string. It's a bit closer to the guitar. You already strum. You already use the pick.
Yeah.
Pick and with the nylon strings, you're finger style. You're playing with fingers. You have the jazzy chords. You have the harmony. It's more sophisticated. It comes from the classical music. It comes for this bossa nova thing. So it helped me a lot from the beginning to have this knowledge, and then of course, but that was something that I liked.
Yeah, me too.
Not all the guys in Brazil that plays rock is like that. So I could say that most of the rock guys in Brazil, they try to avoid that. They go to rock and roll and they blues and rock and roll. They don't like to play the Brazilian music. But for me, it was something. It's part of my passion in music. So
yeah, and you
it's
can
very natural for me to go through this two different styles all the time, practicing, studying, and playing.
Yeah, and you can hear about passion in your playing. I mean, like you said, a lot of rock guys don't like to do that type of music, but I think it just shows your skill and your level as a player. I mean, even just this past weekend, I was watching on VH1. They played the Scorpions Unplugged, which they recently did, in Greece, and their version of like Unplugged was kind of playing with an orchestra, and it just it brings a different level to the musicianship, and I think people give it a chance, they'd be very impressed with that type of music.
Yeah, as long as it's like what you like to do,
Yeah.
I don't try to put myself, I have to do these other styles of music just because I have to do, or because people are gonna like it. It's like really something natural for me. I really like to play the acoustic guitar at home and play these other kinds of music, or I listen. I'm not listening to rock or metal or guitar players all the time. I really like to expand my vocabulary, listen to songs and music from all different countries. I'm really passionate about music in general, and I'm always excited to hear like a great musician, a great song, it doesn't matter where it comes from. Can be like Argentinian tango, can be like a flamenco, can be a guy playing bouzouki from Greece, whatever, Japanese thing, or I don't know, it doesn't matter. If it sounds good and it's like, it sounds beautiful, I'm digging it. I'm trying to understand and get this sound into my head somehow, and then when I play, somehow this sound's gonna be there.
Yeah, like I was telling you, Kiko, the first time I spoke to you last year, I actually I became aware of you through your latest solo album, Sounds of Innocent, and I was kind of interested. I was doing some research before we talked today to learn that you actually have had another band going since like 1992 called Angra. So how great is that to we put out these great solo releases, but then able to turn people on your other band Angra.
Yeah. So the band Angra, that's like my main
gig.
The main thing of my career, actually. The solo album was kind of a side project.
Yeah.
In a way, we have a lot of fans all over. Not much, not in the U.S. because it never came much here. But what happened was when I was 20 years old, we started doing like this demo tape, like early 90s.
Yeah.
And then we sent it there. We got a manager, kind of like all young guys, and trying to, whatever in Brazil, do something a bit better than the scene. The scene in Brazil, there's almost no rock,
Okay.
It was really like there's no mainstream rock, and so like a heavier rock. It's not a rock country, Brazil at all, Although we have Sepultura coming from Brazil with exception, right?
Yeah.
So we did the demo, and then we got a manager, somebody that sent the demo to Japan, and then Japan really liked it, our demo, and then they decided to give an advance for us to record the album, and we went to Europe to record the album because in Brazil there's no proper studios and things that could do a great rock album. So we spent a lot of money, all the money we got from the advance to record this album, but actually this album was the gold disc in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning of my career, when I was 21, I got gold disc in Japan. I was still living in Brazil there, like with my friends there, like with the band. But everything started there, and then the was a very successful band in a way. But it was kind of weird because it was successful in Japan, but not in Brazil, not in the U.S., not in Europe. So Japan was too far away. So then we start from the beginning as any band, but we had something really huge already going on with like gold disc and magazine covers and things like this, so like interviews to the main magazines or TV shows and things like this there in Japan. So, and that kind of helped the band to open other markets, like in Europe. Then it started being very successful in Europe, and then being one of the main bands with Sepultura, the two main bands from Brazil.
Wow.
Right, and then in South America, and then we can tour in Brazil forever. And we still last year we did like a celebration of this 20 years anniversary from that first album from Angra.
Wow, congrats.
We have like a beautiful place, like with 3,000 people, and we did a beautiful show, and also we did a DVD of that. So we're going to Mexico in March, like big festivals in Europe in the summer. So actually things are still going. So I keep doing everything.
And is the new Angra DVD you're talking about, has that come out yet?
It's gonna be out in now too, actually, in February. It's a European label that's gonna distribute in the US as well. I don't know when it's gonna come in the US, but supposedly I think you can order in Amazon already because they have Japan was released. Japan is always first.
Yeah.
And then the European record company is gonna release here in the US too, on Blu-ray and DVD.
Well, let me congratulate you on your 20th year anniversary, because let me tell you, my friend is, in my case, even one of the best kept secrets, the last 20 years, because again, interestingly enough, like even today before I got ready to talk to you, I was prepping myself and I got online and was checking out some of your stuff, and knowing nothing about Angra, but before this, I went and checked out some of the music. I told myself, wow, I had no idea about this other band he was in. I dig some of his stuff. I gotta go get some of these albums down. I think that's the cool thing about what you're doing, is that you're able to turn people on all this great music that you're involved in.
Yeah, well, Angra has many albums. I would, to suggest an album that called Temple of Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Temple of Shadows is like a very, I could say, sophisticated with a lot of musical elements. You're gonna find a lot of Brazilian stuff, a lot of progressive. It's like pretty much like Dream Theater kind of vibe, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Like just Dream Theater, I could say just like as a reference, but it's not this kind of progressive rock. It's more, have a lot of Brazilian stuff going on. It's a bit more, I don't know, just have to listen. But I would, if I had just one album for you or, for your friends, or I would say the Stamp of Shadows is a good one to listen to.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Now, the other thing I know you're going to be involved in this week that I want to talk a little bit about is you're involved in a upcoming concert here in Los Angeles called Randy Rhoads Remembered.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with that?
That's great. It's like Brian Tichy.
Okay, yeah, I know Brian. He's a great guy.
He's the one organizing this, and he invited me. Probably he likes my playing, and he likes the stuff I do, and then he's trying to put several great guitar players at that night. We're gonna have like Doug Aldrich, Gus D, and so many people. Like the people that played
with us,
with Randy Rhoads in the past. Like Luke Sarso, Phil Susan, and Brian Fisher is playing as well. So many musicians. Guys should check it out. And on the Facebook page, they have a dedicated Facebook page. It's like Randy Rhoads Remembered Tribute.
And
it has the name of all the guys. So many musicians.
Yeah, it's going to be a who's who of rock. Now, have you guys done any rehearsals for the show, or are you just going to go there that night?
Tomorrow. I have a rehearsal tomorrow. They're going to have 2 days rehearsal, tomorrow and Wednesday. And I don't know. I just know the time I have to be there to rehearse. I'm going to play one song. Everyone is going to play one song. And but we're not supposed to tell which song.
I understand.
Like I'll keep it. It's like kind of all secret.
Yeah.
The way they're gonna do the show, but it's really, really nice. The idea, I can tell you, you guys, if you have the chance, you should go there because it's gonna be really, really nice. All the Randy Rhoads family is like helping them.
Yeah.
You know, like bringing. I think they're gonna have on stage some of the original equipment, you know, guitar from Randy and things like this. I think it's gonna be really cool.
I think his brother Kelly is going to be performing as part of a show too, and you know, it's amazing that nothing. The closest they've ever had anything like this is another annual event Brian puts on, which is called Bonzo Bash, and probably seen that on YouTube. But I can't believe in the 20-some years since Randy's.
The Bonzo Bash is happening too.
Oh.
It must be crazy organizing all this, but it's happening too. I think on Thursday. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah,
he's keeping these two projects. The Bonzo Bash is amazing too. Like all the best drummers, paying tribute to Joe Bonham. Amazing. And then now with Randy Rhoads, like super cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing about people don't know about Brian is, he's known primarily for being a drummer, but he's also a pretty good guitar player, and he's got his own band going now called Sun.
It's Sun. S-U-N.
Yeah, S-U-N.
Amazing band. I saw them live, and he's an awesome guitar player.
Yeah.
I had to tell you, he's like super, super talented musician because he's like great drummer and a great guitar player. He's not like a drummer playing guitar. He's like a real guitar player. You can see, the way he plays. Yeah. And then it's cool that he's organizing all this stuff. He has a lot of energy to put things together and to make, the friendship of the musicians happening, like paying tribute to someone special. That's great, but also bringing, this community of drummers, and then now this community, like a guitar players, together. It's such a great thing, like this brotherhood kind of. I don't know how to say, but it's really, really good. Really nice.
I mean, I've also seen him do. He's got a Led Zeppelin tribute all-star that he does from time to time called the Moby Dicks. He's got Phil Southsend from Vince Neil and Ozzy Osbourne, and it's just amazing what a great rounded musician the guy is. I mean, he, the last big gig he did was Whitesnake, and he actually left Whitesnake so he could, put all this stuff together, just make dedicate his time for stuff like this, and I think what he's doing is really great. Now, I'd like to ask you, Kiko, going back in time, how did you first discover the music of Randy Rhoads?
The first I discovered, I could say, how's the name of the album? There's like a double vinyl that Ozzy's like carrying Randy.
Oh, Tribute, I think. Yeah, it's called Tribute. I think it came out in 1987. Yeah.
How's the name of the album, sorry?
Tribute, just Tribute. Randy Rhoads Tribute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know if that's one, but I remember listening a lot this album. Maybe I was listening to Blizzard album.
Okay.
Before I don't remember, but that makes sense because in '87 I was 15, so it's when I was really into practicing guitar a lot, like hours and hours. So I was like into Randy Rhoads a lot too, understanding his solos and trying to play his stuff as well,
Yeah, that makes sense because they released that like in '87, right when Jakey Lee left the band before they got Zakk Wylde.
Okay, yeah, exactly,
yeah.
So I probably was listening to stuff before, but at that time I was like really practicing guitar. So I remember, the Dick Lee, the Ultimate Scene, right? I remember that, and of course some videos before with Brad Gillis.
Yeah.
But I was living in Brazil, so we didn't have like a lot of stuff. Like we didn't have MTV. I don't know if you have MTV at that time too, or whatever. But it was hard to get the vinyls anyway,
Yeah.
But actually, I saw Ozzy with J.C. Lee on the TV in the Rock and Wheel, and that was '85.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So '85, in the national TV in Brazil, because the Rock and Wheel was such a huge festival in Rio.
Yeah.
They were showing Ozzy, AC/DC, Scorpions. There was something totally unusual for Brazilian TV to show parts of these shows, but just because it was Rock and Wheel, they were showing. So I could see Ozzy with J.C. Lee live in Rio.
Wow.
and playing all these songs. So I was like really mesmerized by that, and like that's why I kind of started playing guitar. You know, 85, I was 13, 14, and then when I was like maybe 7, 15, I was really into like practicing, deep, hours and hours, deeply, hours and hours. So yeah, that's when I got more into Randy Rhoads. So it's really, really, really cool to be in this tribute because that's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And then the many guys that are playing that night, like one of my heroes, and some of the guys I was seeing them play when I was a teenager.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so I'm gonna have the pleasure to play with them now. So it's like super cool. That's a blast. That's really amazing.
Yeah, that must be like a dream come true now. I was curious when you first tried to learn how to play the Randy Rhoads licks or some of his songs. Were you ever able to get to the point where you were able to master it or feel that you did it justice?
If I could, if I could.
Like if you ever listen to a record and try to play the songs.
Yeah, I remember having a hard time,
Yeah.
But I don't know Mr. Crowley or the Gareth Manman and stuff. I really like because he was very. You could notice that he had like another knowledge, compared to other guitar players.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like more bluesy, like they were like more intuitive. You could see in his playing that he studied music, That's something that I really love because I was trying to study music seriously and trying to understand the scales and the harmonies and all this. And I was like trying to play his solos, and you could see that he knew what he was doing, like different scales and interesting notes that you could see that he was aware of the theory or aware of the different scales, and that was something that I really liked from Randy.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from people, even Rudy Sarzo told me once that that Randy of course made it in rock music, but his real love was classical music, like what you were saying, and if he would have lived, he probably would have eventually left Ozzy's band to do a classical music thing, and so that's kind of interesting. Now I was curious, you were saying you're a big Jake E. Lee fan. I was curious if you've heard any of his new music that he's doing with his new band called Red Dragon Cartel, because they're about to release their debut.
I saw some more YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, recently I saw some YouTube stuff. Yeah. And then I was in Japan and I saw some guitar magazines there, and I saw some stuff. Yeah, as well.
I mean,
and also I remember just after Ozzy, he had this band. It was really cool.
And that's actually one of the first things Eric Singer ever did before he went on to join Kiss. But that they're a great bluesy band, and I think all too often Jake doesn't get the credit he deserves for being such a great guitar player. Because he's kind of been off the scene for the last 20 years. But hopefully he'll be making a nice comeback. I hope that the album that's coming out does good.
I don't know his life story. I don't know why he suddenly disappeared, and then but yeah, at that time, like in late '80s, with the Badlands, like he had a special way of playing, some guitar trick that was really special sound, and even his performance on stage, everything was really, really cool. I always liked it. Well, Ozzy always had like the best
guitar players,
Guitar players,
Yeah, and talk about his current guitar player. Are you a fan of Gus G?
Yeah. Actually, I will probably meet him tonight.
Oh.
He's here in LA today.
And he's part of the Randy event, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing there.
Oh, that.
I know Gus for a long time, actually.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Because of Angra.
Okay.
We're doing like tours in Europe, and then with his band, he was opening act for us a few times.
Oh, cool.
In Europe.
Yeah.
So I remember specifically one tour that we had a tour bus, and then he was not the whole band, but only him. He was in the tour bus with us. So yeah, years ago, maybe like 5-6 years ago, before Ozzy.
Yeah, and
so I know him quite well, because of the tour bus stuff, like touring Europe. He was opening for us with Firewind, opening for Angra.
Yeah.
So and then he was invited to be an Aussie guitar player. So it's like, wow, that's cool, because he is a very talented guy. He fits perfectly to Aussie stuff. I really like the way he plays, and he's like really. He has this vibe, that really fits to Aussie. I think it was a good choice for Aussie,
Yeah, because people,
most.
He's a
cool guy, very nice person, very nice person.
People mostly know him from, of course, Ozzy, but he's got his other band, Firewind, and then I was reading that he's about ready. I think also in March, he's going to be releasing his debut solo album. So I'd be kind of interested to. And I think he's got different singers playing on. So I'm going to be kind of interested to hear what that comes out sounding like.
He's going to release his first solo album, but it's good for him too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people know him as a guitar player a lot. Because of Ozzy, before his band was, going well, was growing in Europe.
Yeah.
The band was, all the guys are from Greece, right? The band's from
Yeah.
Greece. So with Ozzy, I think, people start knowing him more as a guitar player, so it's like good to have like a guitar album. I don't know how it's gonna sound, the album, but I'm sure it's gonna be really good.
And let me ask you, are you much of a Zakk Wylde fan?
It's what?
Are you much of a Zakk Wylde fan? You know Zakk?
Yeah. Of course. How can you,
Not be
influenced by Zakk Wylde?
And a great thing about him is, he's another guy that's well-rounded. I mean, he can sing, he can, write his own music, he play the piano.
Well, I've been to his shows already. I've been to Black Label Society show. As a fan watching two times already, and I really like the way he plays.
Yeah.
Of course, he was changing through the times. I remember when he got into Ozzy, and he had like some country stuff, like mixed with this metal things. I thought it was really interesting. He was not this image of like this super aggressive image in the beginning,
Yeah, I got to tell you, Kiko. If you haven't had a chance to check out the new issue of Guitar World, you should check that out, because actually they got a new interview in there with J.K. Lee, and they also got a kind of a flashback of what you're talking about, because the 20th anniversary of when Zakk first joined Ozzy's band, and they kind of got a flashback interview, and they show all the old photos from when he first joined the band. He was a skinny guy with, like the 80s style hairdo.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of takes you back in time, but it's a good laugh if you want to go back in time.
It's like totally it's different, but the attitude is different. And but I like both, I like the skinny guy, he's like a baby face kind of guy, like playing really, really good, really railroad influenced with some country stuff, you know. And then now he's like this Black Label Society, more aggressive, and the Black Label show is really awesome.
And then what's cool about the Black Label stuff too is like they recently put out this acoustic live album, and they do it acoustically, but even it's not all aggressive. Like they do some softer stuff, which is kind of surprises some of the Black Label fans. But like I said, he does piano and everything, and it just. I
know. He's super talented. I've seen some stuff. Even like Mama Come Home from Ozzy, he wrote and the piano stuff. I've seen him playing some acoustic stuff like in the internet. But no, he's a serious musician. Of course, he puts his image in the end, gets in front of his musicianship, I believe, But when he wants, he can sing, like really great songs and play acoustic guitar or play piano. He composed a lot of great songs for Ozzy.
And getting back to I want to ask you as a guitar player and as a Randy fan, Randy Rhoads. What kind of always amazed me about Randy, he's nobody can deny what a great guitar player was, but this is a guy that he only his legacy is really just with 2 studio albums and that 1 live album, and yet there is so many people just love what this guy did. And I mean, again, we're not talking about a guy like Jimi Hendrix, who had a number of albums out before he died, but this is a guy that just with basically 2 studio albums, and yet he still literally made his mark on the world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Yeah. 2 studio albums, a live album, right?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, and I was curious, did you ever hear any of the stuff he did with, like Quiet Riot back in the,
White
early...
Riot, yeah. I don't know much, to be honest. I don't know much. Yeah, the early times, right, with White Riot.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did how many? He did like one album.
Yeah, like 1 or 2, but they were only released in Japan, which is kind of I've heard some of the stuff, and it sounds nothing like what he did with Ozzy. But again, they're two different bands, so you got to take that into consideration. But
yeah.
So you're gonna be concentrating mostly on your new DVD coming out. Has Angra got anything planned down the line for this year?
Yeah, I have this DVD out, my DVD, the theater that I mentioned, and the Angra DVD. But with Angra, we have some festivals.
Okay.
Big festivals, like this huge festival in Mexico with, Kiss, Korn, Guns N' Roses. And
oh, cool.
Many bands. We are there as well, in a good spot. And there's gonna be early March. So it's a few festivals in South America, like huge stuff. We're gonna be playing, and the Health Fest in France, which is like one of the biggest festivals in Europe also. And we have some concerts going on, but actually with Angra we have to stop and do some a new album. So we have to compose stuff. I have in mind I just have to find the time to record the new stuff for me too. But I'm not thinking to do in the next month because too many things to do in travel.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some clinic tour for agonists as well in April in Asia.
Okay,
so
wow.
It's gonna be like 15 days in Asia. We're just deciding the exact date, but that's gonna happen for sure. So it's gonna be like Korea, China, Philippines, and Hong Kong, and Thailand, and all over to promote the guitar. So yeah,
cool. So
that's gonna happen. Yeah.
So probably a new Angra CD before the solo stuff comes out, but that's good because that'll allow people to hear what you do with that band, which I think they need to check out based on.
Yeah. I suggest like Temple Shadow.
Yeah.
And then there's like one old album, like Holy Land, is very ethnic in a way. It's like rock metal, but very ethnic percussions, and so it can be very interesting. It was an album that was like huge stuff in France back in the days in the 90s. The Holy Land and the Temple Shadows is more modern. I think the US people's gonna dig more in the Temple Shadows.
Okay, and I was curious, being that you guys have been around for 20 years, does the catalog continue to sell pretty well?
Yeah. It's rolling. Yeah.
That's great, and.
Yeah, so like always, the albums are released in Europe, in mainly Asia, and in South America. So that's our fan base that made, more of our fan base. What happens, man, which is quite difficult. When you build a fan base, like we have a huge fan base in Brazil, South America, some countries of Europe, not all of the countries in Europe, mainly the Latin countries like Italy, France, Spain, and Japan, Asia. So when you have a huge fan base, you get like better offers to go play in these places, And then it's not only doing these places, and then it's hard to break in like the US, for instance, because then you have to come here and work like a beginner band, you know what I mean? And then you have good offers to go to other places, so you start postponing to come to US, and then in the end you never play in US. That's what happens. That's why Angra, we did a few gigs here in US. We did like Front Powers in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Front Festival we did 2 times. Actually we were headlining once. So for this kind of audience, people know Angra, but to do a tour in US like a proper long tour, it's a bit difficult. So we should, get a van and then tour, like really drive all over the country. It's a bit difficult. So in the end we don't play much in US because situation offers, are always better in other countries.
And how, as far as a solo artist, do you find that you have more opportunities here in the U.S., or is it about the same?
I don't know. I'm here trying this. it really looks. I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
And for the guitar thing, it's a guitar country. U.S.
Yeah.
I have this feeling. When I come from Brazil, like all this acoustic thing, or like this percussion and all the instruments. U.S. is like basically is the main instrument is the guitar. And it's interesting because I feel this everywhere I go. If I go into an airplane with my guitar, my back here in U.S., people come to talk to me. Oh, what guitar is that? Are you a musician? Are you a professional? That's cool. What kind of, people come to me and talk.
Yeah.
They're happy, or maybe inside the airplane, they're happy to help me to find a place for my guitar, whatever. You go to other countries, man, they're like, they just look to the guitar as like they don't like it, Just like, what is that? Are you a musician? Get away, So like the treatment.
Yeah.
I feel being a guitar player in the U.S.
much easier.
Something that adds some respect to you, It's interesting there. So, very generic situation, in a daily basis in the street, talking to people. If you tell I'm a guitarist, a professional guitarist, that's cool, It's like saying, okay, I'm a doctor, I'm a, a therapist or whatever,
And then,
like a nice profession. If you're in other countries, probably not,
And being from Brazil, I was curious if either you as a solo artist or Angra, have you guys ever had the opportunity to perform at Rock in Rio?
We did. We did once. They had two stages. We played in the smaller stage.
Oh.
We didn't do yet in the big stage, but we definitely we want. We want to do it. We're working on that. This year we're playing the Month of Rock with the big festival in São Paulo.
Oh, cool.
But we're gonna work on the Rock in Rio. It's gonna be 2015.
Wow.
So the next year we're gonna have. This year in Brazil is pretty busy because we have the soccer World Cup, which is in Brazil, like something like Brazil's gonna start for that.
And I was going to ask you, I see also on your website you got, it says classroom, PDF transcriptions coming soon. You want to talk a little bit about, is this where you guys, you actually give lessons or something online?
Yeah, but in the end, it gets so busy, man, that the idea of
doing that.
From Skype online. I did DVDs, instructional DVDs. I did. But I actually have one in English that's from Rock House Method.
Okay.
It was released maybe 2-3 years ago. The other ones I did was in Portuguese, for the Brazilian market. I started, my first money with music was always teaching,
Yeah.
When you were a kid, when you're young, you always have like somebody that doesn't know how to play once you have, to.
Yeah,
Then it's up to give you some money to learn the guitar tricks. So I always, I started teaching, and then I liked it. But in the end, I prefer traveling and doing the clinics.
Mm-hmm.
Clinics for me it's more fun than only one-on-one lesson. Sometimes I do, but I prefer like traveling and going to different countries and meeting different people and playing to more people. Like the clinics you can have like 100 people, 500, or
I guess that's
classes.
I guess that's kind of what you do with clinics. But I was going to ask you, probably for years you've had other people coming to you wanting to learn how to play other people's music. But have you ever had somebody coming to you to like, hey, can you show me how to play play one of your licks or one of your songs? And what's that like to teach somebody your music?
The people play my music.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. There's a lot of people, if you go to YouTube and find the name of my song, some songs there's a lot of guys like trying to play, and just like even some final tests in some guitar school all over the world, they use some my songs as a test or whatever, it's very, very cool. Very cool.
That right there tells me, it's
amazing. Like when you feel like, okay, like you're really, touching people's heart and connecting with people. They like the song, you it's more than the how to play the guitar. They like the song.
Yeah.
They are like excited to discover how to play that song. And a lot of these master classes or clinics, people ask how to compose. They want to compose something like I do. So yeah, it's amazing, you know.
Like, to me, that's
I'm just a normal guy that was like,
Yeah.
you know, playing my guitar and trying to listen to my heroes as well, like Randy Rhoads, Van Halen, or Jim Page, or like Jeff Beck, my Brazilian heroes. Or just listening to them as well and try to figure out what they did. And now, you know, I have like a younger generation trying to figure out what I'm doing. So that's cool. And the cool thing is like, learn from people and keep teaching, you know? Keep learning, keep teaching. That's basically the secret of life and to be happy, you know?
I mean, to me, that's the greatest testament that you've arrived as a player, when other people are trying to learn your stuff, what you did, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you have to teach, you know?
Yeah.
And that's for sure. I like that. I like to teach, you know, there's no secret, you know? The guy asked me, you know, I really love to tell the stories, how I compose every song. Every song has a different thought, how it came, the thought, you know, describing this moment that, like, the first initial idea came and how it was, and how did I change, then it became a song.
Yeah.
I really like to explain this. Like, it takes quite a while, you know, to show, but I think it really is inspirational for people to compose too. When they see there's no secret, you know, it's just a hard work of trying, and then you're gonna find your best ideas in between this daily trying of playing new stuff, you know.
See, that's why I really suggest anybody that's a fan of guitar type music to check your stuff out, because in listening to your stuff, again, like, I can hear, you know, Randy Rhoads or whatever influence in some of the music, but you don't sound like a clone. I mean, the influence is there, but yet your own characters, your own style of playing's in there, and you have your own thing going, and then anybody who listens to your music can tell you got you play with real passion. It's not you're just going in there and laying anything down. You know, you take what you do is really art, if you know what I mean.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. That idea is like try to incorporate, how to say, like to internalize all these influences somehow, and then, you know, let them mix somehow. And then when you play, the influences are there, but it's not like copying exactly one guy.
Yeah.
You know, one kind of sound. So that's what I have to have in mind, you know, all the time, you know.
Yeah.
And work, try to be mature in the sense that all the ideas you learn, you try to make something of your own, you know, out of the ideas.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing I want to ask you for, I let you go. I see also on the website you got a official iPhone app powered by Mobile Roadie. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we did this. This is, you know, like you get into this new technology and try to learn how to use and you know, see how it's a cool feature. You know, it's like to have on the phone. But you know what? In the end, Facebook is like you know, that's what people are into it. You know, Facebook. In the end, like, you have to give some time to Facebook or to, of course, to the proper website. But in terms of marketing, in the end, Facebook is the best. Of course, in terms of marketing, the best thing is like do it good music, you know, do good stuff, and then share with people, and then make people happy with the stuff you're doing. Share how you do, share how you know, how you compose, how you did the song. That's the best marketing. But the best tool for that is still Facebook.
Yeah.
Not this app stuff or maybe other ways. I really like Instagram. I like the Instagram. I really like sharing pictures.
Yeah.
I like that. But Facebook, I have my Facebook official page. It's fun. I try to look every day and answer the questions, keep track of what's going on, try to post something. I think it's the best way comparing to whatever apps or even your own website or something like that.
And talking about Facebook, how much do you enjoy, like, I mean, obviously when you do a show, you have professional photographers taking photos of you, but how much do you enjoy, like, fans sending you photos? I mean, you must get some photos of fans take that look pretty professional as well.
Photos of what, sorry?
You know, like fans taking photos of you, like you were saying, and then, you know, posting photos they've taken of you at a show or something on your Facebook page.
Yeah, you know, like years ago, I've been through all the moments of the, you know, I've been like, you know, as I said, my first album with Angra was '93, so I've been through the CD era, and then, and I was living all this changing, you know, the Napster, Metallica against the Napster, you know, whatever, you know, and now it's, and so I really took some time to understand, you know, I think everybody understands how things work in this new, for the new generation, or this new thing that is called internet or Facebook, and you should share, but, you know, and then now I understand, you know, I really understand, and I try to when I post something, I try to make some kind of a good video, good picture, like something, you know, nice. I don't put whatever. But if the fans want to take whatever picture and they want to post, if they want to take whatever video and post in YouTube, I don't care, you know. Even if they, you know, they kill me doing a mistake and they just put the mistake and say, like, yeah, the guy does a mistake. Yeah, I kind of like that, you know.
And now
I like that, you know. You hear them say, like, wow, you know, like you cannot even do a mistake because the guy is really gonna put the mistake of you, or he's gonna record with this cracked camera, and then it's gonna be this horrible sound of your music in the YouTube. But actually, it's showing. It shows how the musician-wise it is, you know. Like sometimes you play in a nice venue, sometimes you play in a horrible venue, sometimes you play horrible, sometimes you play nicely. So it's everything. You know, you're not 100% perfect all the time playing the best place on earth, you know. So it shows the human side, and it shows the real life, you know.
Yeah,
I think in the end it's cool, you know.
Yeah, it's great. And I was curious, have you ever thought about selling, like, I know a lot of musicians are getting to where they sell, you know, their music for people to download on the phone, like as, you know, for phones and stuff, sound bites.
I didn't understand the pay-per-view. I didn't understand.
Well, have you ever thought of selling any of your music? Like a lot of musicians are selling their music like as ringtones and stuff.
To sell the ringtone.
Yeah, have you ever looked into that?
Well, it depends a little bit, but now I don't know how it goes nowadays, you know. Yeah.
Well, Kiko, I won't keep you very long because I've taken up enough of your time. But once again, my friend, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. And maybe when the DVD comes out, I'm going to get a copy of that. And I'll also write up a review. But anytime you have anything going, please, you know, get in touch with me, and I'd love to do this again. Yeah. Okay. Well, you have my email. I don't have your personal email, but maybe I get that from Chip, or I'll hit you up on Facebook. Because if you'd like, I could also send you a copy of this interview in a few days, just for you to listen. That would be cool. Yeah. Okay. Thanks again. Yeah. Bye. And then maybe like in like February, I'm gonna know better. You know, if I have the DVD, I can send you. That'd be great. Thanks again, my friend. You have a nice day. Take care of yourself. Bye. Okay. Thank you. Bye.